Hello to all our darling friends. It's Camille, your hostess with the mostest. I know you guys are super excited to hear our coverage of the finale. Trust me, I am too. I can't wait for it, but I'm getting braces this week, and it didn't work out timing wise for us to record an episode before my braces. And I kind of want to just let myself rest because I think I might be miserable. Pray for me. So, we thought it would be a great chance to bring back our episode with Paige from the Evil Twins podcast to talk about social work and threat evaluation in hospitals. So, if you missed that episode or you didn't listen to it previously, we're going to put that up as an encore for you. Now, if you're wondering why we're doing that, it's for the algorithm. The algorithm loves when you are posting a new episode every week. So if you don't want to listen to the whole episode, that's fine. If you do, that's amazing. We love you for it. Thank you so much. We're very excited to get to cover the finale. We're excited for season 2. We are working on trying to get some interviews set up. So we are very appreciative of you guys. And without further ado, here is that encore. Welcome to the Pit Crew. I'm Camille, your attending, and today, while my residents are out, I have a special consult. Joining me to talk about all things mandated reporting and social work, I have Paige, our department social worker. She's a real-life social worker, and she is the co-host of the Evil Twins podcast. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and consulting for you.
Consulting, of course. You got your little notebook ready to take notes and think with your little social worker brain.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving me too much credit. Social workers are experts at just raw dogging things, just thinking on our feet. So I did a little prep. I'm coming in lukewarm, not hot.
I did a little bit of college. I was in nursing school for a hot minute.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and my favorite class was social work. There was something about it. It was in the brand new, it was the only class I had that was in the brand new nursing building. And so it was all beautiful. And I like people.
It's really cool. And I think you can do a lot with it. And as someone who gets super bored easily, that was the main reason I entered into it. I love people and I get bored, at the drop of a hat. So here I am.
Okay, so tell us about in general, what social work is and what it's like on a day-to-day.
Oh my God. I mean, I think we'd be here all day if I listed literally everything a social worker could do. I would divide social work super broadly into 2 categories, macro level work and micro level work. So micro is your direct client contact. So Kiara, she's a micro level social worker. People doing case management, people who are clinical therapists like I am, that's my current job. People who do crisis intervention, they're the ones working on the ground. And the macro level is kind of the management and policy side of things. So people who are public policy makers, who are program managers and directors, who run nonprofits. So that's really the broad category. But there are so many jobs social workers can do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of unlimited, we're everywhere and you might not even know it. Oh, that sounds so fucking threatening.
It's don't worry, guys. I'm in the vents. I heard that. Talk nice about yourself. I can hear you.
Exactly. That's a threat. Be nice to yourself. Threatening.
Well, I was impressed in my social work class. I realized I didn't expect, and I don't know if this was just my experience or if this is something that you'd be oh yeah, is that I went to, it was a private Christian university. There, so much of social work that I learned in that first semester was sex education.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So much learning about contraception and stuff, which I thought was very interesting. And I was oh, okay, go off.
That's really, I mean, I do sex education and because I'm an individual and couples therapist. So sex comes up in my work, but yeah. I think it's interesting. They really honed in on it. Yeah. That's part of social work, but it's not one run to be oh yeah, you got to talk about the diaphragms or whatever.
Now, okay. So when you think about, you've got Christy Wheeler who comes into the pit for a medical abortion, or not a
Mhm.
medical, a medication abortion.
Mhm.
Is that, like, when you have an underage person coming into a hospital for something like that, is that something that social workers would get involved in at all in patient care?
Ooh, I think it depends. So, when I worked in a hospital, but my role was very specific. I did crisis evaluation and intervention. So, if somebody came into the ER and they're like, "I wanna kill myself," or "I wanna kill someone else," or both, sometimes that also happened,
Mhm,
I would talk to them and determine, like, what level of care they needed. So, like, can we send them home? Do they need to be hospitalized? Can we hook them up with, like, some outside therapy? Like, what's going on here?
mhm,
So, that role was pretty hyper specific. So, like, my role was not like Kiara's very
mhm.
much.
Okay.
She does more of a case management type of thing. But to answer, that was the long answer. The short answer is maybe it depends. Like, I feel like Kiara could have been super helpful maybe to, like, de-escalate the conflict between Christy's mom
Mm,
and Christy's aunt. Like,
mhm,
that's maybe, like, I've done that. Like, so
mhm.
I think Kiara definitely could have had a place in that interaction.
But for the plot, I mean,
Right, well, for the plot,
it's
like,
so
they
much
yeah,
more dramatic when there's
yeah.
when there's not someone talking people down.
Like, and that's the thing, like, I stand social workers, obviously, especially ones like Kiara who do a really hard job, but, like, it's not, like, super sexy or fun to be like, "Let's regulate ourselves." Like, let's do some deep breaths." It's
Let's
like,
feel our toes in our shoes.
we want some tea, we want some drama, and, like, that's okay.
Now, okay, so did you work in an ER? Like, what part of the hospital did you work in?
I would kind of bounce around. Sometimes I'd be in the ER and sometimes I would be in, like, we had our own building, like,
Mm,
next to the hospital. Yeah, it's kind of like, it was kind of a weird arrangement. But no, I was we were really more doing our own thing. Like, we were very, like, hyper focused on just safety evaluation, and that was pretty much it.
yeah. I will say my cardiology team, part of the department at the hospital that I go to, they have a department social worker, and
Mhm.
they're specifically for the heart patients. They've actually realized it's not necessarily causation, but they've noticed a correlation between having a congenital birth defect, like with your heart, and PTSD, CPTSD, anxiety, depression, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff. So they've noticed like the rates are different. And so they were like, you know what? It would be really beneficial to have someone who can talk through all of this with our patients as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I mean, I think anyone who has a chronic health condition,
Mhm.
I think absolutely could benefit from some mental health support,
Yeah.
because I'm sure it's traumatic to be going to the doctor, to worry about your health, to have to get poked and prodded.
Yeah, any time someone has to use a bone saw on you, I feel like you probably need some therapy along with that.
Oh my god, yeah, no. No, oh god. Unsaw my bones, please. No, thank you.
There's actually okay, literally, if you look at, like, my scans and stuff, we call it my chicken wire because I've had open heart surgery. So, they, like,
Oh.
saw your sternum, right? They use, like, the bone saw to get through your sternum, and then they use I'm sorry, guys, they use the rib spreader so they
Oh,
can get
okay.
to your heart.
Right, I mean, how else are they gonna do it?
Right.
Yeah.
So then when they put you back together, they use wire, or at least they did in 2000 when I had surgery, and they use wire to like sew your sternum back together to hold it together. So we call it my chicken wire.
What?
You can actually still see it in my scans because they just leave it there. It just stays there.
Do you set off metal detectors at, like, the airport?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, it's not enough for that. I even have like a mesh, like it's something called a melody valve that's it's in place of like my pulmonary valve. And it's got like, this is so cool to me. I love medical stuff. It's the jugular vein of a cow stitched into like a mesh frame
Oh.
because some smarty pants one day was staring at a field of cows and was like, oh my God, that jugular vein must be so strong because they have their heads down grazing all day. We could use that in hearts.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I have basically to say, even that doesn't set off a metal detector. So tell us about, like, we just talked, me and Mal and Robert, we just talked about the Dunn family and mandated reporting And I know like we don't have to be too specific to the state of Pennsylvania. I don't think either of us is, unless you've like brushed up on this.
I have
Okay.
their mandated reporting
Oh, cool, cool,
info
cool.
open in front of me.
Cool. Okay, so just tell me, like, in general, and for our listeners, what is mandated reporting?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. So mandated reporting is the legal and sometimes ethical, depending on your profession, which, we'll get into, requirement to report suspected abuse of a vulnerable person to the appropriate authorities. So when I think a lot of people think, CPS, like child protective, when we think of mandated reporting, but that can also extend to like vulnerable adults like Ginger from the Pitt,
Mm-hmm.
or disabled people, just anyone who is vulnerable and needs like full-time care from someone else.
Just to clarify for anyone who's like, Ginger Kitajima is she's schizophrenic, correct? She falls in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
So mandated reporters would be like teachers, medical staff, therapists, yes?
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know. We're in the US, so you and I are talking about this from like a US centric standpoint, obviously.
Yeah.
The laws vary between states. Like in some states, literally everybody is a mandated reporter, like anyone over the age of 18, period, end of story. In some states, it's more specific. In Pennsylvania, the criteria is so broad to me as to be like, it's pretty much any adult, because it's just like any medical professional, any teacher, any adult who like is in the home or could be considered responsible for the care of the child. It's like, that's like pretty much anybody.
Now, like, do you have to meet any requirement when you are reporting something? Is there some kind of a threshold that you have to meet? Or should you just be like, you know what, this kid's been wearing dirty clothes for 2 days, 3 days in a row, and that makes me concerned? Like, is that enough?
Yeah. So I was always taught, both in like my jobs, my internships, grad school, our job is to report the suspected abuse. Our job is not to investigate it. So like, if you err on the side of caution, if you think it could be abuse or neglect, report it. And like, it's CPS's or Child Protective Services, it's called different things in different states.
Mhm.
It's their job to determine whether it meets the criteria for abuse. Like, we're not the investigators. So I was always taught to kind of err on the side of caution and report it if you think it could be reportable.
Okay, and so you said something about crisis evaluation. Is that what you called it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, of course, like when we talk about mandated reporting and social work and things like that, when it comes to the Pitt, the first thing that's going to come to mind is Alana Dunn. But before we even talk about her, I want to talk about David. If
Mm-hmm.
someone like David came in, if oh, buddy. So, if Teresa were if you were called in to talk to Teresa, what would you think? What would you do? Like, what do you think about the way the show did it? What would you have done differently? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God. I have a lot of feelings about this. I think, in my opinion, like David absolutely, like if I was the one making the call whether to put him on a 72-hour psych hold, I absolutely would have. I think making that list shows intent. His mom, Teresa, is sharing all these other warning signs, like the social isolation, the fact that he is dealing with, what appears to be complex grief from the death of his father. No, he definitely, I think, would meet the criteria for me to be hospitalized. Where I think their mistake was, like, I don't understand why Robbie and McKay, I don't understand why, sure, like they can make the call to like commit David or whatever, but like, why isn't a psychiatrist talking to him? Like, they really should have just let the mental health professionals handle it once they made that call, because I think they just like kind of how, if you pick at a scab, like sometimes it turns into a worse wound than it was before. I kind of feel like that's what Robbie and McKay were doing. And they also were fighting with each other in front of everyone about it. It's like, just let the psychiatrist handle it. Like, why are we
Super
doing
unprofessional
this?
because I'm like, what is oh my God, there's like a saying for like the ER is treat 'em and yeet 'em or something like that.
I mean, sure.
I feel like I've heard that is treat 'em and yeet 'em, because it's like we're not like they're not like super super specific. It's not like they're like, oh, I'm the emergency room OBGYN. Like, no,
Right.
you're from OB and you come down to the ER. The ER doesn't have like the this, like the ER oncologist, it's like, no. So and this was something that I thought about. I don't know if have you ever watched or read or consumed anything by Sue Klebold?
No, I doesn't even sound familiar, actually.
So she's the mom of one of the
Oh, the Columbine shooters.
yeah, yes.
Never mind, it does sound familiar. I spoke too soon. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. She just reminds me, the dynamic and like the look reminds me a lot of Teresa Saunders, like the very bright gray hair. And
yeah,
I wonder if it's supposed to remind us of that and make us think of that.
I definitely think it could be. I feel like both of their character profiles, in my opinion, are meant to evoke like mom of school shooter and school shooter.
She's like literally like going through a checklist of like, and then he said this thing, and then he said this thing, and he's done this thing, and then he's also experienced this. And I'm like, whoa. But she like pads everything. It's like a pickle sandwich. She's like, he's a really sweet kid. And he's made a list of girls he wants to kill, but he would never hurt anybody. I'm like, oh my God. It's like Robbie's job to see through that. And I wonder when I watch it if like this is intentionally Robbie being biased, because she's so eager to call in psych when a brown woman comes in experiencing symptoms
and
just treat them and eat them. And then when it comes to the Saunderses, he's like, no, I will hold on to them and I'm going to handle all of this and I'm going to protect them. And I'm like, but why? Like, I wonder if that's intentional on the writing or if that's like somebody writing it that way and not even realizing their own biases.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think either could be true. I mean, I honestly think Robbie like needs probably like an intensive outpatient program. Like I think that man is so compromised mentally. I don't think he should be practicing medicine. That's maybe a discussion that's beyond the scope of this episode.
It's okay. So one of the things that they bring up a lot about David is he's 18. As someone who actually worked in like that area, what would your response if someone was like, but he's 18? What would your response to that have been? Like your educated response to that?
Oh, because like mentally I'd be like, okay, congratulations. Like I can still commit him against his will if I deem him to be an active danger to himself or others. That's also sort of my answer. Like it doesn't matter what someone's age is. Like, me and the doctor at the hospital, we had the authority to commit someone even if it was against their will, if we truly thought they were, actively suicidal or homicidal. I guess maybe they're harping on the fact that he's 18 because that means that mom can't commit him against his will. Like if he's 17 and mom says hospitalize him, even if David doesn't want it, we can still do it. We don't need to go through the involuntary commitment process. But since he's 18, if he's like, no, then we do have to go through the involuntary commitment process. But I don't know why they were acting like that was such a huge barrier. Cause like, it's not.
I'm like, it happened to Britney Spears, for Christ's sakes.
Again, beyond the scope of this episode, perhaps, but that was also handled in a really, and I know if Arden was here, she would agree, legally and psychologically inappropriate.
I actually I've worn many hats, and I was an assistant for an attorney who did like conservatorships and guardianships and stuff like that. So yeah, it's doozy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Arden because I know.
Yeah.
But I think from my own research, I think it was handled inappropriately psychologically and legally. But I will not speak for my family attorney.
Yeah. For anyone listening who doesn't listen to Evil Twins, Arden is Paige's sister and she's an attorney. So it's an attorney and a social worker walk into the pit.
Exactly.
Okay. So when you think about the Dunn family, we just had our big discussion about what happened with this failure to report to the authorities about the suspicions of child abuse and like pedophilia. What Oh my God, I'm trying to even like think of where to begin because our Mal is a mandated reporter. And so for her, especially watching this, she was
Oh
furious.
no.
I think
Can
anybody
you
in
hear
their right
me?
mind should be furious. The question that I want to ask is because this is what I'm most interested in.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Santos, whenever, when everyone else fails her, which they did, she goes into Silas Dunn's trauma room. She basically threatens to kill him. At least this is what I'm taking from it. She says, blink once if you want me to let you die. She also basically threatens him with being raped in prison. I would love someone with facts to tell us what are the risks of coming at an abuser like that or a suspected abuser.
I mean,
We're giggling, but it's like,
no, I
abuse. Like,
I think it's just because, like, just from like a viewer perspective of the pit, when Santos did that, I was like, well, he deserves it. But like, obviously, professionally as a social worker, I'm like, Santos, oh my, you're girl, like you cannot be doing that. Like,
yeah.
even if I emotionally, as a human might agree with you, because like, obviously fuck people who abuse their children.
Rapists should die. Like, I don't know, man.
Right. But like you can't just be doing that.
Yeah.
And which I think you don't need to be a social worker to be like, okay, like to
Mhm.
know that you should do that, even if you emotionally can agree and know where Santos is coming from. So when you say risk, do you mean like to the child potentially, to Santos's medical license? Like what?
I'm less worried about like Santos and more worried about like the child, the wife.
Mm,
For me, I sit here and think, you've just cornered this man. If he recovers and he goes home, he could kill his entire family now. Like you have just put him in a cage and set it on fire. And now he's got to shoot his way out. That's where my brain goes is I'm like, girl, you have just put them in so much danger.
I think that is a fair point, and one that I don't know if I considered as I was watching it, but like,
Yeah.
right, I mean, statistically, family annihilators, the type of
That's
people who
exactly what I said. Yeah.
they're white men
Mhm.
who feel like they have nothing left to lose,
Mhm.
colloquially speaking. So I think that's a fair concern. Like, I just want to tell you that first off.
Thank you for validating me, social worker Paige.
Sorry.
No,
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 fuck.
no.
Stop it. Stop. I don't know. I can't even pretend to invalidate you. It like goes against my like programming. I can't even be mean. Um, like for fun.
Oh my
But
god.
I think that when I'm like looking at this situation, I'm just like, okay, so sure, maybe dad is, molesting his daughter. Like that's a very real possibility to consider.
Mhm.
But I also think mom is poisoning his coffee with like progesterone. So that also, from my clinical perspective, I'm also like, is mom maybe like delusional?
Yes, and I thought that too. I think my hesitation to bring that up is because I don't wanna sound like I'm blaming the victim, but it is one of those things where I'm like, "Okay, but we see these patients for less than 3 hours in the day." Like, the grand scheme
Mhm.
of things is about 3 hours. For us watching, it was about 3 weeks that we sat with this. But for them, it was 3 hours. And I'm sitting here going, okay, she says she's worried that he might be. She didn't even, like, this woman isn't even saying it with her whole chest.
Right.
And so my thought was like, I'm like, this woman might need some serious help. She might be, like, something might be wrong with her.
And no, I don't think it's victim blaming at all to bring that forth as a possibility because, and like, this is where Art and I talked about this on the Evil Twins podcast. Like, we also review The Pit. This is kind of like a nature is healing, like Romeo and Juliet moment because we like both our podcasts that review The Pit. So it's kind of like we're collaborating. Like, I think it's cute.
Pit squared.
It is. Like, I love it. I love that there are multiple podcasts because it feels so lonely to be the only podcast about a show.
Yeah. No, and it also sucks when you go to try to find a podcast and you're like, "Oh, this shit. This one sucks." Like, when you find little ones, like, there are a lot of them that just do, like, a couple episodes about, and for me, I've been like, "It's not enough."
I just love hearing other people's deep dives, and I like
Mm.
hearing perspectives because Arden and I are like, insane and we like overanalyze everything to death. And also,
Yeah.
I'm coming at this from a social work perspective, so like I can't turn that lens off. Like I like to hear what like normal human beings think about the show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, my point is the reason, and I talk about this in the Evil Twins podcast episode, shameless plug, but I will happily fucking repeat it here. Okay, so maybe dad is molesting his daughter. Maybe
Mhm.
mom is clinically delusional and is poisoning dad.
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Yeah, sure. Why not both? Like either way, the kid is not in a good situation here.
Right. Right.
I do not understand why like Kiara and Robbie are acting like they need to do a full fucking Law and Order SVU police investigation before they
Mhm.
call CPS. Like just call them.
Yeah.
There's more than enough reasonable suspicion whether mom is telling the truth, mom's delusional, secret third thing. Like just fucking call them. Like what are we doing?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of grief that I can give characters on this show for being insubordinate, but I don't think I could ever give McKay any grief for it because
Mm.
when she does it, she's so entirely legitimate. And I like, she calls the police because Robbie has dragged his feet all day long. And she's like, okay, fuck it. Fine. I'm doing it then. And like, good for her.
I agree. She should have. Like, as I said, I think they both bungled it a little bit. Robbie more than her. But no, I agree with McKay that he needed to be evaluated and committed for sure.
Yeah.
This is why Robbie needs to be in an intensive outpatient program and not at work, but that's fine.
I'm like, fine. Robbie, you've had years. You've taken this day off for years. And now you come back, sans therapy, to ruin everyone's day. Please.
He's so I don't know. We don't need to get into that, but like I just
that's just you're gonna love this because I know you're gonna agree with me when I say that one of my favorite things about everybody's favorite Jack Abbott is that he is so down for therapy. He loves therapy. Yes. And I know, like, therapy for him must be miserable because of the trauma that he personally has been through that we know nothing about but can clearly see. Like, yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Oh my God. But I feel like he's so accepting of it. And I love seeing, I don't know if it bothers you as much as it bothers me, but when you watch shows and there's always a main character who has to go to therapy and they just ice out the therapist, like for however many episodes of the arc where they're in therapy and they're just like, I don't want to talk. I don't need this. I love that we didn't have to see that with Abbott.
Oh, yeah. No, I both like just having to go through that, dog and pony show, but also just, I love seeing like an old white dude be like, therapy is good. Like, I think we need more representation and normalization of like men's mental health. So that made me happy. But I also don't get that because, and I mean, maybe I'm just like the fucking, friendliest chuckle fuck therapist alive, but like, I don't really have the problem of people not wanting to talk to me. Like I can count on one hand the number of times that's happened to me, even with involuntary clients. Like and maybe I'm just a, living Teletubby, but like I'm like, why? Like if a client is that aggressive towards me, like maybe like bring in another I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, find a different therapist, try to find someone that maybe they can look at and feel like they relate to a little bit more, like boil it down that simply.
Yeah, or like the therapist never just like validate their anger and like fear and confusion. They're just like, you're being resistant, like you got to talk to me. Like no, they don't. Like we can color.
I loved coloring in therapy as an adult. It was great. I
still
would sit on the floor and color. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone loves to color. Everyone loves a snack. Everyone loves a stuffed animal. All things I have in my office.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a couple more questions and then I have questions from listeners.
Sure.
Okay. So just as a general, like, is there anything that you watched in the show, any patient that you watched and you were just like, oh, I want to get my hands on this. Like, I wish, like, other than the very obvious, was there anything that you were just like, oh, I would have done this. I would have done this. Anything like that.
So you mean other than committing Robbie? Other than sending him to putting him on medical leave and sending him to an IOP? Other than that.
No, I mean, that would be great. Tell us about, do that. Tell us about what you would do if someone like Robbie showed up to work as a coworker or if he showed up as a therapist. Like, what do you think? Because, like, obviously we all know that Robbie needs therapy.
Right.
But we don't really focus on that as much as Robbie trying to get therapy for other people.
Yeah.
Robbie as a patient. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, so if he was my coworker, I would just be straight up with him and be like, dude, I think you need help. I have no problem doing that. Well, I might be a little nicer, but like that's part of being a supportive coworker is processing these things with your coworkers and being like, hey, like, I think you could benefit from some more help. Like you have to take care of each other when you're in the healthcare field. Oh my God, but if he was my client, like, again, my knee-jerk reaction is to be like, quit. But I think that, like, tell him to quit. I would not
like quit your job or be like,
quit your fucking job. But I think
sabbatical, bro.
Like, no, FMLA, girl. Like right now, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. I think one of the big things I would start with Robbie, I'd probably do some like dialectical behavioral therapy, like emotional regulation and distress tolerance skills. Probably refer him to a psychiatrist. And I think where I'd want to explore things with him is clearly he has, at least to me, clearly, he has this deep-seated need to take care of everybody emotionally, medically, and will refuse to do that for himself. And I would suspect that considering he shares that he lived with his grandmother as a kid, I would suspect that stemmed from some kind of abandonment wound from his parents.
Or even just like former partners. We know he's had a couple serious relationships and we've met those women.
Yeah, and they should have gotten a copay. Let's put it that way. But no, this is a man who I think has a core belief of like, I am only worth something if I am taking care of other people. He does not believe in his own inherent value as a human being. So that's where I would go with him after he went to an IOP, discharged, and came to me. That's where we'd go.
I feel like maybe somebody like him, and of course I have no credentials or anything to back this up, but part of me is just sitting here like, he needs like EMDR or something. He's seeing these cartoon characters and just losing his shit every time. These like cartoon animals, and he's just losing it every time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, EMDR is like, yeah, that's a big one with trauma therapy. So I would totally explore that. I really like, have you ever heard of internal family systems, IFS?
No.
That's a modality, like a therapeutic like philosophy that I really like because it's basically helps you connect with different internal parts of yourself. Everybody has them. And so I feel like we also need to connect with these parts of Robbie that make him feel like he can't take a break. He can't take care of himself. He can't stop beating himself up for every mistake that he makes and patient that he loses. So I would love to do some parts work with him if he was a real person.
Yeah, he's very self-sacrificing, even just boiling down to like, go piss, girl.
Yeah, like literally will not even
just
piss.
Go to the bathroom. Just say, give me 30 seconds. Like if because we've talked about this before, is like, if Langdon can do it, if McKay can do it, if Collins can do it, you can do it too. Go piss, girl. It's okay.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why he clearly, again, at least to me, has this core belief of like, I'm worth nothing if I'm not helping. And like, that literally extends to him not even feeling like he can pee.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, he's so deeply unwell. Like, it's almost, and like Art and I have talked about this, but like, it almost extends into farce or like parody, I feel like, towards the end of the season. I'm like, this is like ridiculous.
Now that I'm thinking about it, there's a parallel between Robbie doing compressions and refusing to let go of Leah and Whitaker with Mr. Milton.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God. This is a breakthrough moment for me.
Ooh.
Because they're both there in the reverse. Like, Whitaker's the one that catches Robbie, and Robbie's the one that's there for Whitaker after he loses Mr. Milton. So it's literally a role reversal.
I didn't think about that in the context of like Mr. Milton specifically, but this show really loves its like parallels and role reversals and like mirror images, which I like.
Season 2, Dr. Robbie goes back to medical school. He's reverting. He'll be in diapers by the end of the show.
Oh my
Life is one big parallel. We start out in diapers, we end in diapers.
Oh my God. That's some good insight, but also you're giving me an existential crisis. So, damn, I don't know.
Middle is like, what has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs in the evening?
Man.
Yeah. Except for me, it's like, what has 2 legs in the morning, 6 legs at 10 a.m., 2 legs at 11 a.m., 6 legs at 11:15 a.m. because I use a walker sometimes.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, where are you talking about? Like cats? Like whose legs are these?
No. No, I use a walker sometimes, and so like it just stays in my car just in case I need it, because like I'm not even gonna lie to you, the fun thing about having back problems is I'll be totally fine, and then I go to the bathroom and sit on the toilet for like 10 minutes, and then I'm like, I need my walker to get out of here. This sucks.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just life, but you know. Okay. Questions from listeners.
Okay.
What is the most common thing that a patient needs from you? Like in the hospital setting?
I think that they need someone who is well regulated to sit there and listen to them for as long as they need it.
Mm.
Because a lot of times, understandably, if someone goes to, a friend, family member, parent is like, I want to hurt myself or I want to hurt someone else, the loved one has a big reaction.
Yeah.
And it can escalate things. And I'm not criticizing people, like I get it, but I think that's the biggest thing that I do. Like, I am well regulated. I am there to hold space for other people's emotions, and they can let out whatever they need to.
Like, this is Paige. She's our social worker, and she's so regular, you guys.
Whoa. I said I'm regulated. I am not regular. I am a weird bitch. I got that weird bitch disease.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No, yeah, I think I had another valve replacement in 2016, and I've talked about this before, is that like the big question for me leading up to it, the first time I had any intervention for my heart was when I was a child. And so when I was an adult having to go through it, I had that question of like, what if I die? And the response from everybody was, that's not going to happen. You're going to be fine. And in therapy, the response was, yeah, what if you die? Let's talk about that. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Right. Because the therapist, and like, as therapists, I know that we care about our clients. I can guarantee you your therapist would very much care if you died. Like, they would not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like your therapist did a great job there, because they will go where other people in your life maybe couldn't go without becoming too upset or dysregulated to like talk about it.
They can go there with you and take the tools that you need to get to. Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
It's like, I can hike the mountain with you. I also brought a walking stick and a harness, like
I
and
love
rations. That. You're welcome. You can use that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Because they can't walk the mountain for you, but they can like be your Sherpa.
Yeah, exactly. Not in like a racist way. Another question was, have you ever had to disagree with a doctor regarding patient care?
This is maybe crazy, but I don't think so. But I will say I proactively took the time to befriend, well, pretty much everybody that I work with, from the doctors, the nurses, the other therapists, because relationship building is the most important aspect, I think, of healthcare, and that extends to your coworkers. So by the time we got to the point where like me and another provider might have a clinical disagreement, they liked me, they knew I wasn't like a total fucking idiot. So like we were able to have a pretty balanced discussion about it.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad. Like, we'd all be like, ooh, tea. But also, like, that's just good.
No, I fist fought every doctor in the parking lot. Yeah. That's how we settled clinical disagreements, actually.
Okay, great.
And I always won because I'm a biter. No, they had to get tetanus shots afterwards. Is that better? Is that more
no,
fun?
exactly. That's
Okay.
exactly what I wanted. Oh my God. No, I'm like, you might think she means she goes for the face or the arms or something. No, she goes for the ankles, just like,
Yeah,
let me
exactly.
taste them socks.
Wear thick socks if you're fighting me in the parking lot, for sure.
Oh my God. Okay, this question came in all caps.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics of it. There actually wasn't even a question mark. It was just a lot of exclamation points. Was Santos right?
About what?
I think, okay, we can take this a couple ways.
Sure.
We've basically already discussed that, like, she was correct in saying they need to report this.
Yes, I agree.
I think we can both agree that she was incorrect in the way she ultimately handled it. Yeah, if there was ever a chance to go above Robbie's head and it be okay, that was it.
Right.
If there were ever a time when it would have been okay for her to have been insubordinate, I think that would have been it.
I agree.
Instead, she chose all of the inappropriate times.
She chose violence, sometimes literally.
Throwing scalpels into feet and I'm kidding.
Yeah, that I
like throwing stars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, I kind of love Santos.
And the podcast's over. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding.
I know. That's a hot take. Because one, I feel like she's just a really entertaining character, but I also, she has good instincts. And I think if she wasn't a doctor, I think she'd actually make a great social worker. But like, I think the way she goes about it is like way heavy handed, but her instincts are good. Like, I knew like from jump that Santos was right about Langdon, having a benzodiazepine addiction.
Really?
So, oh yeah. As soon as she's brought up the med discrepancy, I'm like, yep.
I was like, this girl's a bitch. He would never. I've known him 2 hours and I know he would never do that to me.
But that's my point. Like, people are really good at hiding their substance use. And like, also, this isn't your field. Like, I wouldn't expect someone who's not in this field to like know that because people are really good at hiding their substance use.
Very true. The last question that I had from a listener was from a pediatrician. And it said, I just want to say, I love you. Thanks for doing the hard stuff. So not really a question, but.
That's so nice. Well, I would say right back at you because I think that I was about to say I hate kids, but let's have some nuance there.
That's why she counsels couples, because she's like, don't have kids.
No.
Don't have kids. I hate them.
I find they're not my area of professional strength. I find them really difficult to work with. So that's why I would say right back at you, because I think kids and their families are the most exhausting population. I would see all couples before I'd see a single child.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about kids. I think what I've always said is I think they're incredibly valid human beings and they deserve all the rights, and I don't want to be around them.
I love kids in my personal life, just not professionally.
I find it kind of emotionally exhausting to be around them.
That's fair.
Like, I can only listen to the same question a million times without being like, oh my God.
That's so fair. And it's good to have that awareness about yourself. Like, so you're not a pediatrician. It works out.
I'm a geese goose.
Exactly. I love it. That's so kind, though. Thank you, random listener. I appreciate you.
Thank you, random citizen.
Thank you, sir or ma'am, or I don't know, they be non-binary
Caesar
monarch. Yes, exactly.
Is that it? I don't know.
Sure.
Non-binary monarch.
So I was gonna say king, and then I'm like, wait, that's still gendered. So we got to go with monarch.
Oh my God. Is there anything you want to say? Anything that you would like? I mean, I wanted to say anything you would like to have a platform to say. You have your own platform. Is there anything you would like to use my platform to say?
I don't know. I don't think so. This is more of a meta thing, maybe, but I just have really enjoyed getting to know so many other Pitt fans and talking to you and talking to some of the other Pitt fans. It's been a really lovely experience. My sister and I, before we reviewed the Pitt on our podcast, we reviewed the TV show Evil. And like nobody has ever watched or heard of that show. And
I've
it was
never
like
heard
a
of it.
really small kind of lonely fandom. So this, like being part of like the Pitt fan community has been so much fun.
Yeah, it's super engaging.
Yeah. And there's so much to talk about. The memes are unhinged. And it's getting at least another season. So like that's fun.
Well, if we have nothing else, thanks for joining. This has been so much fun.
This was so much fun. And I love that we both have a podcast about the Pitt and like we can collaborate and like instead of being competitive and like weird about it. Like I think that's so healthy. It makes me really happy.
We need like a sparkling handshake emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make one in Canva. I have Canva Premium because
Whoa.
I got that lawyer money now. It's Arden's money.
She's like, I took it out of a purse.
All but I'm just, oh my God. I am the worst sister ever. She's great. But
It's okay. I don't have any sisters, so I just have a lot of brothers. I have 4 brothers. I'm a middle child.
Oh, that's so many brothers. that's a lot of admin.
Yeah. Well,
can I do a shameless plug? Please
absolutely
check
please
out
do.
check out the Evil Twins podcast. If you've ever watched Evil, we reviewed that. We have our super secret fun special project, and we're going to be also reviewing the Pitt season 2 when it comes out. But yeah, we thank you so much for having me. This was very fun.
Thank you for coming. It was so much fun. We talked for like double the amount of time I thought we would, which is great.
Hey, I love it.
Well, if that's all, then so long, fellow losers.
The Pit Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. It's edited by me, Robert. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pit Crew Podcast. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes below. Our art is by Rampacoca. He can be found on Instagram at Rampacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pitcrewpodcast@gmail.com. Now, this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.